Things to crochet in less than 10 minutes. A cute little star. Start with a magic ring. One single crochet. One double crochet. Chain 2. Another double crochet. You've done the first point of the star. Repeat until you have 5 points. Pull the tail to close the magic ring. Slip stitch into the first to close the star. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. And you're done. What do you think?
I'm calling it now. For fall, I can see the biggest trend in terms of our sweaters being details like this with like little designs closer to the top where the crew neck sits. And a lot of these are knit, so I'm going to show you how you can make this crocheted though. So first thing that we have to do is find the pattern that you want to recreate. This one is most similar to the Tommy Hilfiger one. And a lot of these patterns that I find are normally on Bracelet Book or Pinterest. And you don't have to take this typical teddy bear approach either. You could do your own design, something that calls to you. These are the ones that I found that I liked. And then what you need to do is create 4 different panels. So you're gonna have a front, you're gonna have a back, you're gonna have 2 sleeves, and then you're gonna have these trims. So we're not gonna consider the trims as part of the panels, it's just gonna be accent pieces. And you wanna start off by measuring your body. So for example, I could do a 23 by, I guess like 20 panel for the front, and then I would do that for the back. Now the back is just gonna be one simple color versus the front is gonna be that one color. And then when I approach where the top would be, like somewhere here, that's when I would start having the bottom of my design already poking out. And then you're going to need to crochet yourself 2 sleeves. You can make them bell and flare out. You can make them just straight shot, up to you. Always measure yourself, because then you're going to have to make this inside out. Take your pieces inside out and then sew them together so they create a easy smooth edge and you can't see that seam. And then you can go in, once you've attached both sleeves, to attaching then also the back also of your piece, and then doing your trims of the collar in this bottom here.
I just bought 3 pounds of yarn so that I could make this bag. So we're gonna try and make it. I've never crocheted anything, so this is my first crochet project. I figured it'd be easy because it's really big yarn and I just have to crochet with my fingers. Also, this tutorial is not in English, so I'm just gonna have to learn with my eyes. First loop, we've got a little chain. I've gotten this far. It's got this shape a little bit, but it also kind of looks a little wonky. I've been wanting to get into crocheting because I think it'll be a lot of fun for me. I'm a very hands-on type of person, and I really want to make clothes through crocheting. So I don't know, maybe this will be like a hobby of mine. I really hope so. I just want a hobby that I can do every day that I'm obsessed with. Whoa! It turned out good. And now it's time to make the handle. Oh, do I want it to cross? If I make it cross, is that too much? I think this is good. I think this is a good length. I finished it! Wow, this literally took me 30 minutes. It's a little bit wonky, but for my first time, I think I did pretty well. I just want to see how many things can fit in here. Wallet, keys, headphones, book, lipstick, little camera, AirPods.
So last night I was scrolling on Pinterest and I came across this top and I thought it was really cute, and it looks kind of easy because it's only 3 granny squares just joined together with straps. So I'm gonna try and recreate it today. Let's see how we go. So this is what we're looking like. I've done 4 rows on my 5th now, and then I think I'm just gonna keep going until I've got like 10, because the photo looked like it had about that many. I'll come back when I'm finished this one. Okay, so I finished this one. I only ended up doing 8 rows because 10 would have been way too big, because that's kind of how it like fits on there. I've still got to do 2 more, so I'll come back when I'm finished that. So I'm done this last one. I'm going to cut it. So here, I've got it set out. I'm going to start sewing from this corner and then just come up like that and go across. So I finished the first 2 pieces. I just did the, I don't know what it's exactly called. I think it's the invisible mattress stitch. But yeah, look it up if you want to know how to do it. It actually turns out so nice. It looks so seamless. I love it. So finally sewn them all together. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to start adding straps and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so for the straps, I've decided that I'm going to do double yarn. I really like doing this because then you don't have to slip stitch back through all the chains. So I've just cut out 2 big strands that are the same length, so then both of the straps are the same length, obviously. But yeah, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so both straps are done. This is what it's looking like. So I did about 95 chains for each of them as well. So I'm going to do the same with the sides, but I'm just going to do a bit less. So I'll do about like 70 chains worth. And this is how much yarn we have left. I literally had the perfect amount. I love that. So I'm finally done. I've done all the straps and it's looking good already. I'm going to weave in the ends and then I'm going to try it on and show you. So this is the final result. I love it so much. It looks so cute. I can't believe how easy it was to make as well. Definitely recommend giving this a go. Thank you so much, Pinterest.
If your feet get cold, why not crochet yourself one of these fun pair of shark socks? I would recommend this if you're an advanced crocheter. This would be a great gift to give someone who loves sharks, someone that's interested by the ocean. Crochet projects I guarantee you have never seen before. Guys, it's literally Pascal from Rapunzel on a top. Not gonna lie, this is kind of freaky. You could take something like a simple bag and just add these ribbons to it, which is just a single crochet, and it makes it so much cooler and way more unique. If you have a cable that just does not look like a cable anymore, just add something like this, and then no one ever has to know how old your cable is. You could make a hammock for your stuff. Look how cute this blueberry sweater is. I think what's fun about this sweater cardigan is how many different things are going on at the same time. I think this is from Adventure Time, if I'm right. I forget what it's called, but this is a cute bag. I'm actually obsessed with the concept of this because there's nothing unique about it, but then it is at the same time because no one's ever done just like these patterns placed together. I've seen this a couple times and I'm literally so obsessed with it. Every time I see it, I'm like, why haven't I made one like this? But I don't look good in hats, so I probably never will. Again, taking a simple thing like a scarf and just adding in some fun embellishments to spice it up. Fun colors, I like spicing up something that's so simple. This is literally a tissue box that someone decides to make a cake out of. I literally love this so much. I want one of these. Someone make me one of these. I mean, I can make it myself, but it would be more special if someone made this for me. I love this because it just spices up your AirPod Maxes to an extreme and gives that feminine touch to it. Making pillows are super easy, so I feel like this is a great beginner-friendly project because you get to work with super thick yarn, and thus the project is less time-consuming. I know I got a lot of cat lovers here, so here you go. So I've seen a lot of leg warmer tutorials, but what I haven't seen is them add these bows and then the pom-poms, which is why this is part of the unique section. This one is Screaming Harry's house, and I love the button ornaments on them. They make it look cuter. If you're studying anything science related and you need to know the body, why don't you just crochet some body parts and then learn it this way? It'll make studying more exciting. If you saw the show The Summer I Turned Pretty, you know that they wear flower crowns. You can make a flower crown like this for yourself out of crochet. Love. Who said fruit just has to be fruit? You could tell that I have a chokehold on all things cake and dainty right now, can you? I haven't seen anyone make overalls before. This was like one of the first, and I'm not digging it, but I'm not hating it. I like the concept. I don't like the color. You can spice up your TV remotes too with these. These are so fun. With Valentine's Day coming up, I feel like this is like a fun touch to give to someone. This would be good for like a Halloween vibe if you're trying to go as a starfish or aquamarine vibes. I love how each panel is so different from one another. And right now I think I have a thing for sheeps, so this one's really cool because they take a lot of strawberries and make them into crochet things, but it's the first time I've seen these as like little dainty green parts hanging down.
Ich lerne Deutsch.
We hit the highway 155 with my whole foot on the dash. She's in my air, she's got no fare. She could care less if we crash. But on my radar, I got some nerve to play hard. I waited for my chance. We're playboys, we don't dance.
Now we're going to do the double crochet. So again, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3 stitches, and we're going to go into the 4th stitch from the end of the row. And I'm actually going to add an extra chain here so that we can get enough of a row to show you what it looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into that 4th loop, yarn over, through the chain loop, pull up, yarn over, pull the chain loop over the top. Now we have 3 again, but this time we're going to yarn over and go through 2 at a time. So we have 2 again, yarn over, and pull through those 2. So we yarn over, we go through the chain loop, yarn over, pull the chain loop over the top loop. We have 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through those last 2 loops. And this is the double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now when we get to the end of this row, we're going to chain 3 times, turn it around, go back into that first stitch. This is what the double crochet looks like after a few rows.
Here's what I think the top 5 best crochet projects for beginners are, from easiest to most difficult, as someone who's been crocheting for over a decade. Up first, we're going to go with the washcloth. The washcloth or dishcloth is the best project to make when you're just starting out, because you can use 1 stitch for the entire thing, and unlike a scarf or a blanket, something that's a little bit larger, you can finish one of these in a lot less time. When you've graduated from the washcloth, of course, we have the scarf. Scarves are great because you take that dishcloth you just made and you extend it a little bit and you have a scarf. Of course, just making sure you're using a beginner-friendly scarf, and preferably something that comes with a video tutorial. Next up, I would say a scrunchie. Though most crochet scrunchies do use more than 1 stitch, I still think they're a great project for beginners because they are such a small project. For your first large crochet project, I would suggest a crochet blanket. This is probably like a scarf times 10. It's gonna take you a really long time, but the end result will be so worth it, and you can only use 1 stitch for the whole thing. And in my opinion, the most difficult out of the 5 is a crochet beanie. While a beanie is kind of a classic crochet project for beginners, I do think it's a little bit tricky because you have to get the sizing right. Well, it's certainly doable. There are a couple of stitches usually involved, and just perfecting that sizing, I think, is something that you want to have a couple projects under your belt before you take this on. What do you think? Do you agree? Or am I forgetting any other projects? Let me know what you think.
Popular checkerboard crochet big.
Just kidding, everything is great. No, really, I haven't thought of.
Who remembers these viral butterfly crochet tops? Everyone and their mother was literally sporting one of these bad boys back last Halloween. But now that they've kind of fallen off, it really makes me wonder why. And why aren't we bringing them back? If you crochet, this project will literally bring you 2 levels above any other level that you could possibly be at right now because of how much it teaches you. This is the best project to really challenge yourself with because of all of that it entails. The pattern I would follow is this one right up here. It's super easy to navigate and understand, making it very beginner friendly. But then take what you learned in the pattern and apply it on a second. When you first start this project, learn to do multiple colors of yarn, work with different types, but make sure that all the yarns are the same size yarns. Otherwise your project's gonna look a little wonky. Once you master working with 3 different types of yarn, work with your idea of how to do stripes. Because all you have to do is line by line, switch your yarn. When you're working with stripes, you want to just like cut your yarn off at the tail and then rework into your next yarn and then cut that off, rework into your next yarn instead of carrying the yarn. And obviously you don't have to do it row by row. You could do it more gradient like this. But the point is to challenge yourself and play around with things like this too, where you can make the rim of the silhouette a different color than the body. You can play around with how many details you have. And that's what makes this project so opportunistic for crocheters, because you can literally make this project as simple as you want or as advanced as you want. And you may be thinking, hey, we literally can do that with like any other project. What makes this one so unique is the dimensions of the pattern. It's the actual fact that you're using a triangle shape, but then it's not just a plain triangle. This body is a little bit harder to comprehend when you're a beginner. So by doing this, you're going to be able to understand increasing and decreasing to the map. You can also play around with how many little accents you play with, such as again the mesh over here, and that allows you to freehand more with this design. You can take what you already know about crochet, you can apply different strategies and techniques that you've done in your previous project. So I highly recommend that you really look at that pattern. Even if you're not aware, learn how to make them. And if you really need a starting point, think chunkier yarn over smaller thin yarn, just because chunkier yarn will make it so that this is a thicker consistency and you'll have less rows to make. And so that's not that cheapy thing that we saw already trending. You can also just add sleeves to it to make it a little bit like a nod to the butterfly top without making it the entire butterfly top. Crochet rugs based on your level. If you're at the stage where you've never picked up a crochet hook, I suggest making something like this because this will teach you how to work with multiple colors because you're inserting in a new color. It doesn't carry any over, so you're just working with one color, you cut the stitch, then you go to your next color, and this is going to teach you the fundamentals of just getting tension correct. And because it's in a circle, your tension is a little less perfect just because you can't see where it ends. So you kind of ease that stress of making those perfect edges. So it's always better to do a circle versus a rectangle if you're learning how to perfect your tension. However, being said that, if you really want to make sure your tension is perfect, the rectangle is the best way to see how your edges line up. So that's going to be a true indicator of whether your tension is consistent or not. The circle is just going to give you that mere illusion whether or not your tension is correct or if it's not. You can also crochet the rectangle rug like this and learn how to carry over your yarn by doing a checkerboard print. The granny square rug will put you in the intermediate category. This is going to teach you how to work with multiple colors, how to weave in your ends because you're going to have to connect each granny square to one another. And this is a great skill to learn because you're going to be having to weave in ends when working with cardigans and sweaters. You can also take patterns that you find off of Etsy and challenge yourself to actually just crochet it by freehanding it and then buying the PDF pattern later and seeing whether you were able to do it. And this is why I'm going to put it into the intermediate stage. It's just because you're working on learning how to freehand. You can also crochet yourself flowers and then weave them in and attach them like Color Compliments did. This one looks complicated, but it's not. It's simply a square, and then you're going to do a decrease continuously. You're working with 3 different types of panels precisely, and that's great because you're going to work with one color, you're going to cut the yarn, then you're going to work with the next one. So this pattern is really going to teach you how to learn how to decrease consecutively and make sure that your edges look sharp and that they're consistent. This is probably one of the most advanced crochet rugs just because it's so dainty. You are working with a lot of like lace trims, so this is going to take a lot longer. It's cool and it's definitely worth it in the end, but it's going to take you a lot of patience.